Hey guys, so me and Josie are heading up the mountain here, going to the pumice mine, and let's see, there was a something blew off the road grader there and said bad fuel leak, and then oh, I think it's an old 578 road grader, and then the 821B case loader has got a bad hydraulic leak somewhere on it, so. We're on our way up the hill. As you can see, it's still snowing. It's a little skiff of snow there on the road going up, but um, we rented a cat out, a D7G, to these guys here, and they were trying to, because they ran out of, they hauled this pumice down the mountain here. And I think it's like 12 miles to the plant where they actually have the crusher. They've got a roller crusher down there at the plant, and they haul it down to the plant in belly dumps, and then they process it there. But anyway, that's where I'm heading. I'm heading up to the side of the mountain here where the pumice is, and we're gonna go look at that. But another little update, I gotta tell you about PACCAR's stuff. PACCAR called, or the dealer called me and said that PACCAR's policy on that. So the owner, which I don't blame him. He's getting a brand new engine. He says they need to refund me on all that other stuff. And I agree. I think they should. He goes, that oil, we put a brand new oil cooler on there. He said, now it's got all that metal in it. And he says, that cylinder head, all that metal is in the oil and it's going through the rockers and everything. I don't want none of that stuff. And I said, well, I understand. I'm on your side. I said, I agree with you 100%. But so the guy from the dealer called me and said that PACCAR does not cover progressive damage. So that means uh, if your neighbor was burning a pile of leaves too close to his house and caught his house on fire, and then your house caught on fire, well, the insurance company would say, well, we don't cover progressive damage from the guy next door or whatever. Maybe, I don't know if that's a very good analogy, but it's kind of the same thing. Hey, or I guess a better analogy would be if you put a brand new hydraulic pump in a tractor from John Deere and it was brand new with a warranty on it, and that pump failed and disintegrated and shot metal through the entire hydraulic system and contaminated everything, and ruined valves and motors and all kinds of stuff, that it ruined $5,000 or $10,000 worth of hydraulic equipment downstream from the pump. They'd say, well, we're only covering the pump we sold you. That's kind of what PACCAR's doing, which is really chicken shit. I don't know. I'll tell you what, this whole thing really makes you look at these manufacturers. You see these really nice, shiny, long-nosed 389 Pete's, and you look at it in a different way now. You really do. You see one of these big articulating track machine 9RX John Deere sitting out in the field, and you just look at it in a different way. You just kind of curl your nose up, and you just want to give them the finger, So anyways, that's my rant about that. But anyways, we're getting up here close to the pit to where we can start working.
Josie's first time in the snow. It's snowing, huh? It's snowing, chickie. Yeah. Keep an eye on her, make sure nothing happens to her. What a piece of shit, huh? Well, it's kind of a chicken shit deal, isn't it? chicken shit deal. Shit anyway. Alright, there's one. So there's the injection pump. Well, she's kind of wet everywhere, huh? May not even be on that side, but we'll get it started here. Let's check the oil. Let's check the oil. It's kind of sitting on a hill. That's going to be the transmission there. It's going to be on the other side. This side opens. This side has no problem. Looks like they just changed the oil, or there's none in it. There's none in it. Either that or it's all at the back of the crankcase. And I don't have any oil, I don't think, with me. There's no oil. There's no oil in the fucking... Well, I don't know. It's sitting like this, so it's all back there. You sure hope the hell the son of a bitch has got oil in it. I don't know. Let me go look around in my truck, see if I can find some oil. I don't know. I might have something in there I can pour in there. Well, I had a 5-gallon bucket of plus 50 there in the service truck there, and I only had about 2 gallons left in it. I emptied that bucket. I had a gallon of antifreeze in the truck, and I had to pour it in the grater. It took it all, so I could get I couldn't get the oil. I couldn't get the funnel in here. It's a pain in the butt to get the oil in it. Anyway, 2 gallons. I mean, it's not really that unlevel. I mean, there should be. At least I got oil in the stick now, but I'm still. Shit, I'm still. I bet it was almost out of oil. You know, I bet it. These engines here probably only hold 5 or 6 gallons, you know, and I put 2 in it, and it's probably another 2 low. It probably only had 2 gallons in it. So, kind of a, you're asking for it, you run stuff like that. Run them out of oil, but I know I put oil in it, and it won't be on my ass if it seizes up. I'm trying to remember if this one had a push button. I don't think so. That's in neutral. That one there needs to be in neutral. Or is it push button? I don't remember. What the hell's going on here? Now the dash went dead in it. Huh. And of course it's deader than a doornail. Go down the hill while this thing's charging so I can get it started to find the problem. I poured 2 gallons of oil on it and got to jump the piece of shit off. So I guess we'll see if it's charging after that. Let's go look at the loader. Oh shit. See if I can eat shit the big way going down the hill here. This cat here we got rented out to him. D7G. Old 821B. I know I fixed quite a few leaks the last time I had this. I had the bucket all line board and new pins and everything and bushings in it. but the bottom of the bucket was worn out. It needs to be redone. Let's see, what do we got here? See if this has got any oil in it. Yeah, this has got oil in it. See if I can figure out where the leak is on this. It would appear that something in here is leaking pretty bad. I wouldn't say right around in this area, or we have a hose here leaking down on top of it. This old girl here's seen better days. And they got a brand new Volvo loader, I guess, coming. Bought a brand new one, so I don't know if this don't have a grid heater or nothing on it. She's not smoking. Nothing. Still cold enough, shit don't want to start. No starting flood. Okay, cool. This thing's getting air into the fuel system or something while it sits. Alright, let's prime on it. Bring the wrench down here to bleed on it, yeah. I don't know. Not really pumping out. Might have to go get a wrench. Crank on it just a little more, then I might have to go get a wrench to get this thing started, bleed it out. It's getting air. It's getting air in the fuel system somewhere. You can tell it's not smoking or anything. It's getting air bound while it sets. Kind of like that hay squeeze we worked on. Yep. It's exactly what the problem is. I primed it up, hand pumping that. Just take it up there where my truck is. Get everything kind of in one spot. Or they got it in third gear or something? No. Hit the brake on. Brake works so pretty good yet, son. You can see daylight to the bottom of the bucket. I'll get up here and we'll see what this leak is on this thing. So, what is making the mess here? I'm gonna guess right now it'd be that hose right there. A large portion of that. I bet. Or this steel tube right here. Can't tell which one's got the hole in it. Functions are running, so I can run the function. I mean, this valve block here, right there's puking oil everywhere. Oh, it's pretty bad. Look at that thing. That's pretty bad. I'll have to run that a bit. Looks like this O-ring boss fitting going into this block is leaking or something real bad. This one's leaking too. It's washed this driveline, the yoke just completely clean. But see, this is all washed clean under here too. This is running. What are these two here? I don't think it's those. I think it's something blowing on to them. What it appears to me it is. Those two big lines there are going to be, yeah, they're going to be running out to here, so they run and feed the valve block from the pump. Well, I'll let this warm up for a little bit. We'll start tackling one at a time here and see what the fuel leak is. He said fuel on this one. Everything fuel is back here, isn't it? There's the fuel tank. It is so freaking dead. I got a block back behind the tire so it don't roll to the top of me. Figure out where all that's coming from. So it's washed clean. And that fitting there. Oh. Can't see anything from this side. Wedged up in here. I guess you can't get up in there. Hard to tell where this. Looking pretty good in there though. It's leaking in between the sections where the end cap goes on the. Now that thing needs to be resealed. That whole block needs to come out of there, needs to be resealed. Now this, still haven't figured out what's going on with that. Let me turn the other way. I know they're not going to want to, I'm probably going to have to get on the case parts deal and find all the seals for it and then come back. You can see this a lot better now. A lot of it's this one right here, you know what? I might be able to just pull this one and fix a lot of that. Still not seeing where all this is coming from here. They got one hose sitting here rubbing on the drive line. Rubbing a hole in that sumbitch. Well, there's a bracket over there on the frame them hoses are supposed to be in. They're not in there. Tilt on the bucket and see if anything changes. Fittings, a lot of it. You see it's wet on about every one of those O-ring Boss fittings. I'll probably fix the one I can get to for right now. I don't know, this back in here, I don't know what the hell. I can't seem to make it do. We got to get these tied up or it's just gonna blow them anyway. Those look like they're going to the steering cylinders. Well, I'm gonna fix that one for certain. Maybe even the one on this end. Okay, I pulled it up here by my truck where I could get some brake clean and blow that thing off. So this hose here, it's leaking around the crimp bad. Need to change that one. You can see that it's leaking up here too around the crimp. I'm certain that one needs to be changed. Now, what do we got here? I blew this off real good. Raise the bucket up. I'm going to get them other two hoses that are rubbing on the drive line tied up where they're supposed to be. We had some pressure on that thing and up and down a couple times and make that pump work, get the oil hot. Look at her again. See, it's leaking around it right now. Somebody's had that off.
this one's leaking too. So I guess for now, I'll fix these two. And I can see leaking. And I'm sure it's leaking back there where this section bolts onto that section. I'll have to run clear back into Toohey Lake and get a hose made and come back. Fix this one hose. Yeah, it's dripping off that one. Dripping back there bad. I better maybe steer the other way, I don't know. Alright, I started turning the other way. And this one here is leaking around the crimp too. It needs to be changed too. So we're going to pull both of those. So that fitting there. See how wet it is? Alright, we'll let her down and start pulling these off. Okay, so I got one hose off, but this other one, that one come loose. He's trying to turn the whole fitting, so I'll show you how I deal with those. I'll show this son of a bitch some tough. Got that dirty bastard anyway. Okay. That one's off. All right. Gotta put some caps and cap those. This hose is going where? Back to this tube that's just flopping around that's not tied down. Which is gonna be I got that one there. Let's see here. And 7/8. Trying to get a hold of it here. I did on the last one is I got this right up against there like that, and I could get my 1" wrench on this little part of the tube. Okay, that ain't happening. Now, alright, I finally got it broke loose with the end wrenches. Just had to get in the right spot. Okay, got her now. Got her going on her way now. All right. So I got to looking at it. It looks like to me this one's been leaking around the crimp too. I'm gonna pull this one. I think I'm gonna get 4 hoses made. I'm gonna change this hose here
that's been rubbing on the drive line, that's rubbed clear through. You can see the steel braiding on the hose. And then we got to get it back in those brackets down there that hold it down to the frame. And then, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Somebody's wanting me to play with them. Get over here, you. Get your rag and get a hold of that. Get a hold of that rag. Kick that rag's ass. Come on now, come on. Get on there and get that rag. Yeah. Yeah, you little shit. Here, play with your rag. I gotta get this fitting off. I got me a 2-inch end wrench on this here fitting right here. That's a big old wrench you got on there, Jim Bob. Some bitch, that's a hell of a wrench you got on that there fitting. Oh, she's nice and tight like. Whoo. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fix these 2 fittings here for now, and I'll tell him, you know, we'll run it a while when we get back, but I'm gonna take them batteries out of that grader. I can't get it to even jump with the truck. They're so shot. What are you doing, you little shit? Okay, I can't get it back far enough to even get a cap in there. That's one of those JIC fittings. It's got a little O-ring on it. I guess we'll see if we can get this fitting loose now. Yeah, my wrench is too thick. I can't get in there. I know you want me to play with you, but I have to get this done, girly. Let's see if hopefully we got an O-ring that fits this. I'm sure we do in our kit here. Yeah, I got me some big old O-rings in there. Yeah, that there O-ring's harder than a 3-peckered billy goat. Yeah. I'm thinking something about like that right there, huh? Right in there like that right there. Yeah. I just imagine every one of those on that valve body are all the same. Don't you think? Don't you think, Josie? You're just jumping around like you got something stuck up your butt, huh? What? What? What are you jumping around for? What are you jumping around for? Huh? Here. Get that! Get that damn rag! Get that! I get to play with this girl, you know. Yeah, come on there. Yeah. Get that rag! Get that rag, girlie! Get that rag! Okay, so we'll go put this back in there, and we'll tighten this one up a little better. These O-rings will get hard, you know, like that, and then they'll come untuckered. Let's get this sucker back in there. Put this one here. I don't have one of these, so which it's JIC. I mean, that's not really seating that thing up anyway, really. Get in there now, nice and deep like. Get in there nice and deep like, Josie. Hope my mouth's just right so I can get this piece of shit started. She's starting to piss me off now. Make me madder than hell. Okay. Okay. How come you didn't change all the hydraulic cylinders and the hydraulic pump and put a new hydraulic tank and new hydraulic fluid and filters on it when you change those hoses and fittings? We change everything where I work. Every fucking thing on the machine, we change it. Because that's all the smarter we are. We know how to take things off and put things back on. Alright, so I got that battery in there. I couldn't get a regular 6-volt 3EH battery. All I could get was this Group 31. Keep in mind, I'm 42 miles from the store. That's in one store. The other stores are clear in Klamath. That's about 65 miles away. So I had to take what I can get. I'll ratchet strap the battery in there. I'll figure something out. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with it now that we can get it to start. Give that guy a bunch of shit. Only thing was wrong with it, the return line came off the top of the tank. I just popped it back on there. Just got a hose barb and the hose just slides over a nipple. Guess let's see if this thing's charging. Those batteries, they were deader than hell. Man, this place up here, man, you can get caught up here. I better get this loader together and get the hell out of here. For a little while, it'll charge that new battery up while I'm working on this loader. I'm gonna shut my door, keep my Josie girl in there warm. It's kind of a sleet. I got a bunch of new hoses here to put back in this. Okay, so the first one needs to be this one right here. I'm gonna see where I can put this camera. I don't really know where to put it. Started there. Now I'm back in here. You kind of, damn it, Jaime, you made her a little long, buddy. Wait a second. What are you doing? No, I'm all screwed up. You did it right. I'm screwed up. This one goes over here. That's my deal. That one goes over there. Yeah, so damn it, see now. That's what happens. Trying to drag it through all this shit. Luckily, it was just right in the end of the fitting. That's all we need is all that shit in there. We'll get some brake clean and blow that shit out of there. Trying to find the other tube. That's the one tube. There should be another one here somewhere. Alright. Alright. The other hose, get it in there. Ouch. They had, so what happened is somebody somewhere along the lines had taken that tube. See, there used to be another hard line going down in there, and they had, I don't know, they must have blown it. I don't know what they did, but they had two hoses instead of one hose. So I just said, just make me one hose here. I got my hoses on there. Kind of hard to bracket it down correctly. Somebody's, you know, taken all the hold down brackets out of there when they pulled the tube out. I zip tied the hoses together to keep them from rubbing on the drive line. Now let's go driving around a little bit. See what we got. They got a brand new loader sitting down on the bottom. Volvo loader. Couldn't tell what model it was, but this one here, I mean, they got to do something here. This corner here, they're getting into the bucket. They've got into the bucket quite a bit. That's no good. Can't do that. Can't do that. I'll have to bitch at them about it and see what happens. I don't know if it'll do any good. Got that block right there, so I don't. I'm gonna clear my block. I'll run over it. Be all right. I was in second gear already. Raise this bucket up and let it down. Work those hydraulics, get them warmed up. I'll put it back down there where it was, I guess. recirculate it again. Make sure none of them hoses I put in there are leaking. Yeah, it's kind of a risky thing. I called my wife. I mean, she's over in Medford with my daughter, and I told her where I was going to be today. So I said, if you don't see me tonight, I said, you know where I'm at. It's kind of a risky thing coming up here. It's, you know, it's 42 miles, you know, to anything. I guess it probably isn't too bad. Which way did I have it? I need to go the other way. Okay, that's probably should come up against the bank there, shouldn't it? Yeah. That slowed it down a bunch. I think that slowed that down a whole bunch. See, I think this one here's leaking too back in here. I think every one of them, the O-ring boss fittings need to be new O-rings on them. That did slow it down a bunch. That definitely solved that problem. Is that leaking right there? It is leaking around that. I gotta tighten that up more. Actually, I think that hard line might be cracked or something there. I'll see if I can tighten this more, but I think it might be cracked. Yeah, you get up here in the high country, and I'll tell you what, this weather just changes so fast. You get these snow flurries that come through over the mountain, and just, you're thinking, man, I better get out of here, and then the sun's shining. So, like I said, I could not get a battery. The batteries that could go in this 3EH batteries. They're 6-volt batteries, running series to make it 12. So I got one 12-volt battery that's got just about as many cranking amps as both of those 6s. So I could either tell them that I'm gonna come back. I don't like this. I got a ratchet strap tying the battery in there, because I mean, you don't want that son of a bitch coming loose and getting up against the block here and burning the road grader down, and then it could burn the forest down, and it could be a real disaster. So you got to keep it tied in there. You can't just leave it flopping around in there. So I mean, he had a couple Group 31 6-volt batteries, but it would have been the same situation. Just, you know, they were 6-volt Group 31s that I could have, but it wouldn't, that might have worked out okay, but it would have been the same situation. The hold downs wouldn't have worked, because they're going to be the same size as this one. But I said, let's just put 112 in there. And if I have to, I think what a guy ought to do is just weld a little piece of plate out here on that. Or you don't even really need to do that. Take that angle iron and just, well, really all you need to do, you just need longer all threads, all you need. Might have to drill these holes in a different spot, but Yeah, that's all you really need. You could drill these holes in a different spot and just some longer all thread. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this with me. No, I can leave this here with the grader, but I need this all thread. And I'll just get me a couple 3-foot chunks of, I don't even need that. I just need a couple 3-foot chunks of 1/4-inch all thread. And next time I come out here, I'll take that ratchet strap off of there and I'll just re-drill the holes for this angle iron. I better take this with me. They'll lose the sumbitch. I just know they'll lose it. Well, anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the day. We're gonna head down off the mountain, and got the fuel leak was simple. The hose there's a hose barb up there on the return side of the fuel tank, and it rotted out and it blew the hose off. I just cut the rotten end off, and there was enough hose, and I just put it back on there and put a hose clamp on it, and there you go. Okay, then I got to figure out how to get the hood shut, because remember I had to pry it. And get it open. I'll have to see if they want to buy that Champion grader from me. Be a lot more grader than this thing here is, I'll tell you that. Well, alright guys, we're gonna put our stuff up and head off the mountain.